Today, we're looking at Miss Pac-Man for the SEGA Genesis. Miss Pac-Man was released by Tengen in 1991 on the SEGA Genesis. Miss Pac-Man is here to drive you totally wild and crazy with more fun than you've ever imagined. 4 feisty ghosts are chasing Miss Pac-Man. Use your skills and strategy to rack up points while outrunning the goblin ghosts. Grab an energy pill and score even more points. Now gobble up all those fearless ghosts. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button as it helps us this channel grow. And don't forget to hit the notification button for all future videos. So, how is Miss Pac-Man today? Here is our review of Miss Pac-Man for the SEGA Genesis. Now, since Miss Pac-Man is pretty much known as a puzzle game, its plot is rather thin. Every few levels, there is a brief cutscenes where Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man meet, and it kind of serves as a link between the original Pac-Man and the Pac-Man Jr. and other versions. Although it's not much, this could have been regarded as an epic storytelling in the early days of gaming. It's straightforward, good family entertainment at the very least. The gameplay of the game is incredibly easy to understand. You take control of Miss Pac-Man and navigate her through a series of maze-like stages. All you have to do is pick up a little white dots that give you points as you go through the mazes and avoid the ghosts that patrol and wander around inside. You can gobble up a larger dot to frighten the ghosts and give yourself extra points if you eat them. You'll notice that each stage of the game has a different fruit that can be used to earn extra points that go towards the total and eventually your high score. Even though there aren't many changes in the game from act to act, each act has a slightly different layout, and as you progress through the game, the ghosts get faster and more hostile. This simply makes the game more difficult, and since it can be played by 2 people, there will be lots of competitive gameplay where you and your friend can compete to see who can play Miss Pac-Man the best. The only control method you need to learn is how to move Miss Pac-Man through the various stages and around the ghosts. Other than that, the controls are easy to use. You must understand that the paths you take and the manner in which you navigate them will alter the paths taken by the ghosts and their destination. Visually, Miss Pac-Man is a straightforward game where the only colors used is to indicate which ghosts are which and that your character is yellow with a bow. The only visual elements that vary between stages is the color of the maze walls outline. When you eat a ghost, its eyeballs shoot through the stage and into the ghost box, where they are recreated and reintroduced into the maze to chase you. That's the only true impressive special effect. Other than that, there's not much really that jumps out or leaves a lasting impression. After that, if you ever play Pac-Man, then you already know what you're getting into. The lack of audio for the stages won't surprise most players who are familiar with the Pac-Man or its various iterations. The sound effects are extremely limited. All you get is a tiny gobble of the pellets being gobbled up as you move, and the thumping sound of Miss Pac-Man wandering around the open spaces. The game is actually much simpler than this, with the only musical score being extremely brief cutscenes that occur between the various acts. Overall, the conversion of the game's arcade version is pretty good. All things considered, Miss Pac-Man isn't a game that you haven't played before or will probably play in the future. The fantastic gameplay and the easy-to-use controls that have made the series so popular over the past 20 years or so are still there, for the sole reason that it is one of the main instances of a successful conversion this title is worthwhile looking at. In keeping with the straightforward rules of the game, which center on dodging ghosts, earning points, and providing a 2-player team with multiple competitive gameplay stages, Anyone will discover that this game is well worth spending a few dollars on and adding it to their library of games. I was still having a blast playing this game. It's still worth playing today. Miss Pac-Man for the Sega Genesis is getting a 7.5 out of 10. What did you think about Miss Pac-Man for the Sega Genesis? Please leave comments below to share your thoughts. That would do it for this episode. Remember to like and subscribe if you liked this review, and please leave comments below to share your thoughts. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you here on the next episode. Have a great day.